passes the day. Well, first I just want to thank the opening team here. So we opened April 5th, 2022, and our opening team, David Johnson, who I know is our general manager, and he was promoted from our Home2 South Las Vegas Boulevard. And then Francisco Morales, my director of operations from the management company. So those two, along with Patrick Wilson, who had to step out earlier, he's the director of sales here. So those three were instrumental in getting this property open. And I could not do it without them. And I've been, over the last couple of years, trying to step back from the opening process, and they have done an outstanding job. So I am very fortunate to have them on the team. And we also have other couple of people here from the NHN team. I just want to highlight. Andrea is here, who's our general manager. So Andrea is our general manager for our Hampton Inn, Las Vegas Boulevard South.
Award-winning.
So award-winning, yes. She won the. I don't want to take the sale out of Dave's thing, but she won the Conrad Award this past year at our Hampton Inn. So I don't know, there's probably a couple of you that maybe are investors in the Hampton Inn. Outstanding job that Andrea is doing. Stephanie Rodriguez, our director of sales, was at our Hampton Inn, Las Vegas Boulevard South. Now that we're growing so many hotels, we have 7 open, 2 under construction.
Well, kind of. Advanced.
1.5. Soon to be 2 under construction. At number 10 is on St. Rose Parkway in Henderson. So we'll be 10. So we're had to grow the team, and as much as I would wish that I could do it all by myself, I can't. So Francisco Morales is our director of operations. Been with me now for quite a while. 8 years. Yeah. And then Stephanie was just promoted to our corporate director of sales and marketing. So she's going to be handling our Home2 Sunset opening, as well as supporting all of our other properties and sales. So driving top line revenue, which is important for your rate of return. So that's Stephanie's new role. So we are very pleased to have her in that role. Brian Warstuck, who was our general manager at our Spring Hill Suites, is now joining the corporate team as our director of business analytics and handling all the harnessing, I guess, our power as 10 to make the properties even more profitable, and harnessing our buying power in the market. And on our IT side, and so he, I depend on him a lot for all of the stuff that I have no knowledge of. Really, that's I am not the smartest person in the room. I just surround myself with people that are smarter than me. So, Dave Powell is also here. He's our general manager of our Home2 Las Vegas Boulevard South. He took over for David. And one thing that I appreciate is that in our company, really, we promote from within. So Andrea was, I believe, started with us
2009.
Long time ago. At the front desk, same thing with David Powell. David Powell started with us back in 2007, maybe 6. Something. Long time ago. So that's some of our team that's here tonight. So I just want to kind of introduce you to them, and feel free to reach out to any of them. All right. So for the opening of this property, so this is our second hotel that opened during the infamous COVID epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. And then this one faced much bigger challenges than our Hampton Inn. So we started this and finished this through the whole pandemic. And this property took us from start, about 21 months to build and open. Our average is kind of like 16 to 18 months, so it added about 3 to 4 months. And some of the challenges that we faced was the supply chain. So as an example, the lobby furniture that you're all sitting on came a couple months ago. Where we had to rent lobby furniture from Court Rentals here in Las Vegas for the first about 4 months that we were open. Because typically furniture that I buy that takes about 12 weeks took about a year. Another example was like the granite in all the guest rooms. So we buy all of our furniture locally from Folio, which is on the 215 at the 15 by the airport. So we got all of our FF&E for the guest rooms, but 2 weeks before they were drop shipping the furniture, they go, oh, by the way, all of your stone is in Vietnam and it's not going to be here for another 6 months. So we had to locally source all of our quartz here to get the hotel open. So those are some of the kind of challenges that we faced, but we did overcome them and opened on April 5th. Now, so this hotel ramped up extremely well. And for those of you that get the reports from Francisco and some of the information that we put out there and some of the acronyms, so that is the Hilton Hotel. We all participate in our Smith Travel, which is they collect our occupancy and our ADR and calculate our RevPAR and against our competitive set. So for our competitive set here, we compete with the Fairfield, which is here in Centennial. There's the Sonesta Suites, which is a offshoot of the Marriott brand on 95 in Lake Mead. We compete with the La Quinta, which is on 95 in Lake Mead. We also compete with the Element Hotel, which is on 215 and in Summerlin, on Town Center Drive. So for, and typically hotels kind of, ramp up in 12 to 18 months, right? Now this hotel ramped up in about a month and a half. Which is incredible.
I'm not a party.
So they rank us with, so we are 1 of 5 in our competitive set. So for April, when we opened in our occupancy, we were 4 or 5. So we were actually beat one of our competitors in our first month of opening, and we've consistently been 2 of 5 or 1 of 5 since then. And then in RevPAR, which is really the metric, we are 1 or 2 of 5 for the past 3 or 4 months. So and this past in October alone, our occupancy was 92.6%. Now our competitive set was 81.2. So you think of we beat our competitive set by more than 10 points. Our RevPAR for October was $151.91 compared to a competitive set of $127.88. Outstanding results. And then year to date, our RevPAR is $112.80 compared to a competitive set of $92.44. So I couldn't be prouder of the achievements, David and the sales team, and of the hotel. So a little background about this market. So the Northwest was a very underserved market for hospitality. And Dan Coletti and I, we were looking for land probably late 2016 in this area. And we did not, and the land that the hotel is sitting on now, we made 3 offers on. And the third finally, 3 offers in 2 years. And the third finally stuck. And we went under contract in October of 2018. And then we closed in May of 2019. So we were under contract for 8 months. And just so from the development side, all of you understand, so within that 8 months, and we write contracts, we want to make sure that we pass zoning through the Las Vegas City Council to make sure that we can build a hotel. Because just because it's zoned commercial and doesn't mean that we can build a hotel. And we had to have neighborhood meetings, and all the neighbors came around because who wants a hotel in their backyard and blah blah blah. So we convinced all the neighbors that this would be a great thing, other than homeless sleeping on the empty dirt that's been here for. So we finally convinced everyone, and we closed on in May of 2019. And then through that entire process, Dan and myself and our team in our office are doing the building plans and submitting them to the city. And, so we submitted our building plans in August of 2019, and then 11 months later, we finally got a building permit. That's how long it takes to get through the bureaucracy with the city of Las Vegas. So we're able to do that. And then we had our 21th minute build, and then we opened April 5th, 2022. So all in all, like the whole process from actually writing the offer to opening was 3.5 years. So it's a long time to create this, what we're sitting in today. I wish it was faster, but it's not. So, and I appreciate, especially from the investment standpoint, we do 2 rounds of capitalization. First is for the land acquisition, and 2 is for the construction of the hotel. So it's a lot to tie up your money for a couple of years, and earning the early money. From round 1, you do earn some interest on your early money, and then once we close the construction loan, that kind of stops. So we've calculated the early money that the investors had in. So the priority return, which I sent that email earlier today to Katie. So we'll be paying out the priority return in the next probably about 10 days. So the total priority return for this hotel was about $206,000, I think. So that'll go out as a distribution, and then we'll make another distribution by the fiscal year end for the hotel, which would be March of 2023. So rate of return for this hotel for year 1 will be around 6.3%. And then year 2, I think our projected rate of return is about 10.5%. And that's just your cash return on your investment. And then you have your investment, which continues to grow. And if and when we ever sell, or if you sell amongst yourselves, or however you kind of want to do that. But we pay down our debt from our operations every month, so that's added equity to your investments because of the value of the hotel. So, for instance, equity for this project we raised, we raised $9.6 million for this. Our construction loan was about a little over $13 million. So all in, we're about $22.5 million into this project here. Today, if we were to sell, we could probably sell for about $26 million. So there's a lot of built-in equity in the hotel. And we've, since April, paid down our principal about $100,000 on our loan. So that, in turn, is added value to your investment. And one thing that we did here, which is a little different than other projects, is so the land we bought. This was 3 parcels, so it's a little over 3 acres. So it was too much for a hotel. So we decided to, on the back acre, build a medical office building. So we built the office building, which we didn't want to own a medical office building. So we built it and sold it within the same year. So for 2021, which typically in a hotel project, when it's not open, the ordinary income would be 0. But since we built the medical office building and sold it, we were able to report a loss, just a paper loss, of $840,000 for the entity for 2021. And the reason we were able to do that was just from land allocation pricing and some kind of construction stuff. And I don't want to get into too much detail, but we were able to sell the medical office building at a profit, but at the same time report a loss. So many of you who got your K1s for LBD or Springs for 2021 had a loss, which will help your other offset some of your other gains from some of your other investments. Luckily now for 2022, we'll be able to do a cost segregation for this property, and with the current tax regulations, so for any asset that can be depreciated less than 15 years, we can take all of that depreciation in the first year. So it's accelerated depreciation. So we can take, and it's accelerated at 100%. So as an example, the lobby furniture costs us $250,000. Okay, so typically it's a 15-year asset, and then we would take that $215,000, divide over 15 years, and we would depreciate that value over the next 15 years. But now with the current tax laws, we can take that $250,000 and dump it all into 2022. So for those of you who were in our Hampton Inn South, got a good loss on your K1s for the first year. And it's just a paper loss, so it's not like you're losing actual cash. So, so we will do that again for this hotel for 2022. It's at 100%. But we did open in April, so we have been making income. So the loss will not be as great as it was for the Hampton Inn, but it'll still be a loss. And then you'll also get your equity, your cash distribution. So it's a good spot to be in. So I talked about rate of return. So year two, we're projecting about a 10.4% rate of return for year two. So that'll be April of 23 through April of 24. Let's see. That's it for this hotel. Our next project that will be opening is our Home2 on Sunset at UNLV Tech Park. So Sunset at 215. That will be opening, we predict April of 23. And then that's 120 guest suites. It's a Home2. And then we are beginning to grade, and our building permit will probably be out in about a week and a half for our Homewood Suites by Hilton in Craig Road, North Las Vegas. Right over, I don't know, for those of you who might be in some of our Hampton and Springville Suites in North Las Vegas, but right up the street from those properties. That's 123 guest suites, I think. And that'll be open sometime in probably late 2024. And then we're doing a My Place, which is a economy extended stay. We have one which we own in North Las Vegas, and we're building one on St. Rose Parkway, kind of where Costco is, and over that, I don't know, the new South Henderson, I guess.
It's Caterpillar.
Yeah. So that'll be our
West Henderson.
Yeah, West Henderson.
That's probably the best place to do that, the West Henderson Hospital.
Yes. So lots of development in Las Vegas, and we're still looking for land around here. We're still looking for land in the southwest part of town. We're actually looking at land now in Lehi, Utah. So we continue to grow, and I'm blessed, and I should thank all of you and your trust in investing in our projects. And that is my spiel for today.